Hello. Rick Cianfaglione sought me out to make confessions about his roles with the Jonathan Miano, with neighbors of mine, with sequence shifts, identity thefts, and frauds, also with judges and prosecutors. Brian Silver is one of the ones involved with them with identity theft, fraud, slanders. He also recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed with others. They have the kids of leaders of kids involved with abuses of other kids, other people's kids, attaching kids and their families to fake conversations with themselves too. And these are like a Rick Cianfaglione said that Colello, Cianfaglione, and O'Brien, legal predators. They have roles also with New Britain Superior Court, a whole bunch of names with the Jonathan Miano is involved with them also with sequence shifts. I didn't know who John Miano was. He had his name repeated to me. And one time I saw his face at the corner of when I came into a cafeteria, and he was just happened to be there. That's one of the things that the foreign and domestic have manifest, where the difference between the foreign bodies, overt criminal enterprises, private ones, and our own interbranch families. The difference of that being they have collusions, and they have to hide the difference of that because they are being and haven't been used remotely as we could discern. They've been fabricating police reports and stacking roles with the past ones before that too. They put police reports with a charge and no writing on a mass scale. These are also black KKK themed, Confederate flag themed Latino police officers with wire crime action methods and pretending they care about culture, etc. These are people sickly distinctly next to campuses in Hartford, Connecticut, from the ones in Wethersfield. Planting, in other words, all kinds of their roles with overt criminal enterprises and private ones on off campuses, planting evidences. These are campuses filmed 24/7. What they do is put fake audio and video transcripts on campuses filmed 24/7. And Eric Burgess is one of my military sources who requested me to help him before the World Trade Center attack. I found out it was tied to the depositions of former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and his co-defendants, and the family members of police forms and of courts involved, and people on religious spots. The reason the courts are involved, usually depositions wouldn't be at courts unless it was from inside a prison. But this is a pro se civil RICO suit against labor people. Also, the local 230 has recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed, sought me out with their people, like a Thaddeus Grabowski. He has federal evidences, on-off crimes, and crime methods, and predicate acts methods on-off Fox Connecticut News, which is one of the spots next to the state capitol. A whole bunch of people tied to a Rick Cianfaglione have identity theft, fraud, slanders, planting evidences there, roles, and with people on Elm Street and Rocky Hill and Wethersfield. There's an Oliveri family also with this. These are conjunctions to Route 3, which goes right by the state judicial branch offices. The state judicial branch offices has a guy who was using a red pickup truck. I don't know if he still has it. And he was playing football in a field across the street from my house, and the timing of it from another area. And he also has roles next to the state judicial branch offices. People next to the state judicial branch offices increasingly have ties as collusions with federal evidences crimes with people next to body dumping spots. And Enzo Pienza is one of the ones next to the judicial branch offices, and a Keene family, who is also recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed, involved with federal evidences crimes with the World Trade Center attack, and identity theft, fraud, slanders against me, fake ties to me, fake natures of ties to me, and with their neighbors, have been doing this to increasingly with Wethersfield police families, like a DiMauro's Market has roles with this too, where they are now in Rocky Hill, where they used to be. A DiMauro's Market and Aiello's Kitchen have roles with, those are businesses not far from Hartford Hospital. They have roles with all kinds of foreign and criminal enterprises too on off Hartford Hospital, involved with also guns threats credible and poisons and pretending to be against such, like with the Joello on Facebook, as his roles recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed with a former mayor Gold, with federal evidence his crimes and child abuses roles, and identity theft, fraud, slanders, and they use their religions to pretend it's personal while we're using their names. The only reason I know Debbie Gold's name is because other people confessed it, and she told on me after she yelled at me, making no sense, and I yelled back. In other words, to a teacher. So that's how they do little tricks in databases to pretend they know people. And that's also how they make confessions, because there are increasingly people leading up to the World Trade Center attack in that context, intercities who also interstates and foreign. They force Saudis to collusions with them. DiMauro and Ray Reynolds have roles with Saudis. They forced the collusions on off Central Connecticut State University and other campuses. Their sources, like a Ray Colello, said it's on off Trinity College too, and Joello has roles with the fire department next to them. Something to do with the fire department next to Trinity College has roles of predicate acts at Trinity College and the other place. There's forging names, switching names. Joshua Stryker pretended to know me since I was a kid behind my back. I never even had a class with him. They like try to take a picture when you're walking by and pretend you're lying when you say you don't know them. They know that I don't know them. These are the courts, judges, and prosecutors forging and switching names. These are people out of the state judicial branch offices. And Wethersfield Pizza next to them has wire crimes with them to fake, as what they use to fake conversations between me and Stephen Stocco, who I never had a word of conversation with in my life. And I didn't bully him when he was bullied by a Ray Colello and a Paul Zano, who he could have beat up both of them. But in other words, Paul Zano also has roles with all along Route 3 with federal evidence, his crimes, with his educators, identity thefts and frauds, with the people on my street. I never saw him on my street outside of a car. And when I did see him in a car on my street, it was involved with sequence shifts. He has roles with federal evidence, his crimes, and people on off Trinity College, Central Connecticut State University, and UConn. UConn also has. There's a Jack Zano, also by the news, has been planting evidences at corners of streets, also with a Paul Kelly and neighbors of his who have further roles with the principal child abusers campus and the interbranch kids at time collusions and foreign and domestic medical families. So there's a Leahy family that faked conversations through the mail with me too, and with various judges, a Judge Smith and a Judge Killian, speak fake things into records with them. And they have personally and professionally roles with a Leahy family of men and women who have all kinds of natures of organized crime roles with them. Drugs, crimes, medicines, crimes with kids, and delusions, no. Supposed to be experts. And they make confessions and threats to me I didn't respond to yet. I'm going to do it on paper. See, if I responded, then it would look like we had a conversation. It's important to get them on paper because they have all kinds of lawyers at scams at Hartford Hospital. A whole bunch of people at Hartford Hospital have roles with the same houses named Smith, a Jamie Smith, a David Smith, their mother. They have roles with doctors and their patients planting evidence. They run into high life progressions at Hartford Hospital. When they force people for mental evaluations, they force other patients and things like that to make it look at the difference between the patients lying or the interbranch. They're putting whole fake transcripts. These are also people out of the state corrections offices. A Ray Colello and a Joe DiMauro said they have a person with the name Dave. He knows my name. I don't know his name. Next to the state judicial branch offices. And people in my sixth grade class who I recorded involved with child abusers, leaders of kids. Then and further, they confessed and recorded. There's a Michelle who said that, and I don't know what her new last name is, but she's one of the teachers. The news also recorded roles with forcing the principal child defender. And she's one of the roles further with the leaders of the kids still teaching who have roles with sexual and medical abuse of kids and roles with identity thefts and frauds tied with people tied to and as ones with a Lance Cuddy and other brothers and people in his family members on the state corrections offices, increasingly with neighbors near me. I don't know where she lives or who she married, what her name is. She's been faking things in classes since I was a kid, with also former Mayor Gold's family and other family members of mayors increasingly involved. Enzo Fianzo is one of the ones involved with the FBI in courts on Elm Streets in Wethersfield and Rocky Hill. And as one of the ones next to this, Akeem family, who made confessions about their roles, federal evidences, crimes of people associated with the body dumping spot of Billy Grasso and his family involved with it. And the neighbors of the victims of the World Trade Center attack, increasingly their family had roles with that. Identity thefts and frauds, slanders against me. They have roles with the Keene Center, and their roles of programs with kids to hide life aggressions and to further fake things about other people. They're repeating fake things, and they're preventing writing by the courts, fabricating evidences and preventing people from having writing to respond to. They also attached me to fake letters since I was a kid, fake digital. They put fake emails, and they changed what actually was recorded. You should fear God and get my name, one name in sequence on paper. Let's go. Let's get the interbranch on paper. I want a response for the confessions the principal child abuser made to me before that was proven anyway, when he was being forced. Per those roles with the falsified police reports, fake ties to me, fake natures of ties to me, including the news at the same time. WFSB attached me to fake conversations with them. They have intelligence next to them, increasingly involved with them with predicate acts with fax methods, including their silence is also being used to confess and leak things. They force Saudis to collusions with them. I don't even know all the Saudis' names. Hey, get on paper, one name in sequence. Don't make me beg. Get on paper, one name in sequence.